Okay, I'm starting the recording now, even though I'm still loading in case we get another verbal gem like that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me start my streaming thingy too and see what happens here.
It explodes.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, or it's because it's two recordings in the same stream. I just hope that it'll pick up your audio as well as mine. Yep, it just bumped when you spoke. So it does react.
Alrighty.
1 second. I have to find that bottle.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's just a cup of ice, you know? That doesn't really work.
I don't know why it is that every time I start a recording or something with a friend, within like the first, well, unfortunately this time it didn't pick up that wonderful gem, but if you saw the Borderlands video, you probably heard that wonderful gem that started off on.
Found it. I had cleverly hidden it in a place that I would never have thought to look.
The refrigerator?
The refrigerator. Yep, exactly.
Alrighty, so I'm in. Do you want me to spawn at the lander, respawn ship, drill ship?
Oh gosh, because you're not in my faction yet. You can't use my you can't just use my spawn points, can you?
Apparently not.
Well, you know what? Gosh. You know what? Just I would use a lander because it's a gravity. Both worlds are gravity worlds.
Or I could
do you
get
know
in
if there's
a
a way to share what?
Oh, I was gonna say, or I could get into a respawn ship and just crash it.
That works too.
Okay, I want to see what this respawn ship 2 is.
Okay, that'll be able to see that. Where the hell am I? Oh shit! I gotta remember because I was playing. I was fooling around in creative mode earlier today to make sure that my plans for an FTL drive that's stationary that sends other objects will still work. And yes, it will. So there's no need for me to destroy everything everywhere. Which is good, because that would be a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed it doesn't look like you have a faction for me to join.
Oh, well then I'll have to create one, because I'm...
Yeah, because I see something, I spawned in and I see something right in front of me, and I don't know if it has guns, and I don't know if it's yours.
Okay, there, I created a, accept everyone. There we go.
Lunatics?
Why can't I move? Yeah, because of reasons. Let me see, so you spawned in right in front of something. I'm intrigued, like... Where are you? Are you on the moon or are you on Earth?
I'm actually... It looks like I'm actually in orbit of Earth.
Interesting. So there's something right in front of you.
Yeah,
I don't know what could... Yeah, I don't know what could possibly be in orbit. The only things I have are in orbit of the moon. The rocket stages that I built, which turned out to have way more hydrogen than I needed.
Oh, I think it's an asteroid.
Oh!
Yeah, it's an asteroid.
Do you know if there's a way to share GPS coordinate points with factions?
I believe there is. Let me, I'm thought there would be. I'm not 100% certain if GPS coordinates are shared across faction.
They really ought to be. It'd be a lot easier because, like, there are some mineral deposits that I already marked. I learned from, I think it was Wasted Space's video guides about planetary survival. When he would fly over stuff with an ore detector, he would mark the depth and what types of ore there were so that he could later look through that easily. And so that it didn't clutter up his HUD, he would turn off the ones he wasn't using. But, you know, it'd be great if you could share that with your faction.
Okay, well, it looks like episode 1 is going to be the two of us trying to find each other. So, now, I guess this is going to be a case of hot and cold. Whoa, something big asteroid just materialized right in front of me. So, from where I'm at...
yeah.
I was going to say, from where I'm at right now... Okay, I'm pointed roughly straight towards the sun, and I'm coming from the night side. To my right, to the right-hand side of the planet, I'm seeing this big band of desert. In roughly the middle, I'm seeing a temperate region. To the slightly left, I'm seeing a mixture of temperate and ice, and then on the far left-hand side from me on the planet, I'm seeing I guess would be called an ice cap. So I guess it starts off. What sort of foliage are you by? Ice.
Okay, you're
ice
on the
sand
night
or,
side.
Yeah.
You're on the night side, and you are, because I have, you know what? I have bases at the North Pole and the South Pole. So if you just, let me turn on their, let me think, does the South Pole, the South Pole's not connected to the North Pole. So, but its antenna's already on, I think. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Let me turn the North Pole's antenna back on.
Okay.
Because I have a laser connection to it, and then if you fly to one of the poles, you'll see an antenna. You should see an antenna, and then that will... and either station has a wormhole gate, which will take you to the moon.
Okay, and actually, just wondering, the planet, are the, like, polar caps and whatnot in, like, roughly the right place where they should be as far as, like, north and south?
Yeah, I believe the planet is, it's tough to tell because I'm on the moon, but, I gotta remember to, I started to say before, I gotta remember to keep an eye on my oxygen and hydrogen because I'm not in creative mode anymore. I could die.
Alrighty, well.
But, yeah, I'm looking at the sun, and I can see the Earth, and I can see the North Pole from where I am, but that doesn't help you very much.
Okay, well, I guess trying to land on one of the polar caps it is. Taking the landing ship might not have been the greatest idea.
Yeah, it's not terribly fast. I did not think of that.
Oh boy.
What do you think? Lunar Outpost 1. What? Why am I out of... Oh, there it is. I'm like, why am I out of range with Earth Base? But I'm not. It's right there on my list. Uh-oh, what? That doesn't sound good.
Well, my altitude is dropping pretty damn fast, and there's a mountain range right in front of me.
Oh! Oh, no.
I'm gonna land straight smack dab in the mountains. Damn it.
Is this gonna be like the movie Alive, and I'm gonna have to like fight? The problem is all one of them are crap.
Oh wow, I just like hit the ground so hard that I lagged out, and now I'm flying backwards into a massive valley. The ship just vaporized. I don't know where it is. I don't even think there's a crater anymore. Nurse, IDAM's on. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oh no.
Well, I think at least now I can respawn. Okay.
Yeah, you could theoretically just cheat. There's like Lunar Medical Station, I think, or Lunar... Yeah.
Okay, is that where you're at right now?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm at the Lunar Base. That's where I've been doing pretty much all my crazy stuff.
Alrighty, get a clone vat ready. I'm coming in. Okay. Well, that was
Yeah,
that was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I mean that it just hadn't occurred to me that there'd be such a problem. I see green moving letters, so it's either you or I'm having serious visual problems.
Oh, I think I see you there. Hello.
Hooray!
Oh, actually, hang on. I'm doing this wrong. Give me...
Yeah, me too. Oh.
There we are. Hello.
Oh, wait.
I guess you didn't see. Never mind.
Let's see. No, I didn't. Oh, dang it. I wasn't, You just walk away.
Well, it was essentially...
Hello.
Yep, there we are. Actually, I didn't even see what color I am.
You are black. You look
Black?
like sort of a defaulty...
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah, you look... Let me... This...
Not an airlock made for two, that's
Yeah,
for certain.
Yeah. Well, I still like the way that Keen's new system allows you to just make airlocks, with just by sticking two doors together. Let me see here.
Yeah, and you can't really depressurize it, but at the very least, it minimizes how much you lose.
Yeah, I mean, and because the game is kind of lets you cheat a little bit because they're just two doors. There's no atmosphere there.
Oh yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I think if you walk through them fast enough, your jetpack suddenly kicks on, which suggests that the game is that a little atmosphere is escaping because they're both briefly open. But the thing is, when I've done that going in, I've then looked at the oxygen gauge in the little vent up here in the ceiling, and it says 4 bars. So I think the game is accurately tracking how much air is being lost. It's not like, oh, both doors open, instantly vacuum. It's like it's leaking.
It's volumetric.
Which is nice. Yeah. So if we had a big enough place, you could open the door and then it would just sit there, and so this is just it's my base. It's real derp-tastic.
Whoop.
Oh no.
There we are.
Huh. A little bit of air does come out. Weird. But yeah, I threw it together I love the way you can put stuff down in here. Like just the plates. Just a single plate lets you have these nice framework things. It's addictive. Creating these things that are structural, but they don't actually, they have so few resources.
And it actually makes a really nice, and it doesn't look too sci-fi with this. It actually looks like something NASA might build.
Yeah. I think what they really need, though, is something sort of like what Digi was working on, but like the concrete tool, which I have that mod here, but if you notice, like over here is where I sort of used it, where I'm standing right now, and for some reason it's not as smooth as it used to be. It's all kind of lumpy and weird. It
looks like it melted.
Yeah, when you throw them out, they kind of lump together. They used to be nice and smooth, and But what would be cool is if you could have material made out of that, because NASA, if they go back to the moon, what they want to do is make stuff out of the regolith. And it'd be cool if you could do that, if they could model that in Space Engineers. Like you just take the stone that's freaking everywhere and turn it into some kind of block that's airtight. And then it's like you're living off the land. My base here comes in 2 parts, completely changing gears. This part over here with the big solar panels and everything is all built in survival, except when the game derped out, I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to switch over to Space Master and fix that. And I'm going to say that didn't happen. But this thing over here, I just threw together with Space Master. This much more finished looking thing.
You do actually get a little bit faster jumping in low G like this.
Yeah, I almost feel like you can get around by hopping like they did on the moon. I'm not sure if it's actually faster, but it's certainly not slower, and it's more entertaining than just walking or even running. I loaded a bunch of different character plates as mods. I'm actually using the Dear Astronaut because I love it. But there's also the the female astronaut, and then there's Tungsten, the sort of, I don't know, walking sex object.
From what I heard, Tungsten was originally supposed to be like a fan work on, or like a Mass Effect fan work.
Oh. Well, I like Tungsten. In fact, I think, if anything, I feel like Tungsten's figure is slightly restrained, you know? Like, if they're gonna do something like that that's just ridiculous, like a skin-tight suit and everything, they ought to go all the way. And just, like, create a cartoonish figure that's just like Jessica Rabbit in space. You know?
You joke, it probably exists.
You know what? You know, if it doesn't, it's probably only a matter of time.
Yeah, Rule 34.
Oh, yeah. I saw a hilarious badge at a convention the other day. It said Rule 34, badge on badge action. Like 2 badges having sex. So this thing we're standing next to, I threw this together last night because it's sort of like an example of something I wanted to build in the regular base. Because on the one hand, well, let me just show you. Let's see if I remember all the. It's like a lot of the things I build.
Let me stand back for the big reveal. Yep.
Okay.
If I can
like
get a good
lot
camera
of the
angle.
things I build. Oh God, is it going to explode now? Oh, it's shaking around a lot.
Oh gods! Oh my god!
I bet it looks hilarious from your perspective.
Oh my gosh, it's phasing through the wall. Through the door.
Oh my god! It's like, it's wobbling a little bit from my perspective.
It's just pushing itself through the door.
That's awesome! Okay, so it should eventually stabilize. Maybe if I sit in it, it will realize what it's actually doing.
I'm assuming
did it stop? Is it?
I'm assuming the hangar doors are supposed to be open right now.
Yeah, they are. In fact, in my view, they are open. Are they not in yours?
No, this thing is just like phased itself through the door. That's all it did. The doors are still closed for me.
Oh wow. Well, I wonder what happens if you sit in it. Will it just explode?
Well, I already I already died once. Oh
God! And you're alive!
Run away! Run away!
You know what my mistake was? Oh, hey, look at that! The attachment point is still okay. At least from where I'm sitting.
The attachment point is anything attached to it isn't.
From my perspective, it's perfect. The chair tumbled out and down, and you're like still sitting in it, and then you got out, and it was great. You're just like sitting there, like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened on my end. But yeah, as of right now, oh, hang on, let me at the risk of using
like.
Yeah, as of right now, the only 2 doors that are actually open are like oh boy, I'm stuck. Are like the ones essentially right behind the medical bay. Everything else is still closed.
Okay, that is just weird. So maybe, you know, I'm wondering if that is just the fact that I went too far and being punished for my hubris.
You dug too deep.
What I have here, I mean, you can, yes, delved too deep, exactly. You can see here that this, you know, it's like a medical bay that comes outside to play when you don't feel like rushing in through doors to recharge yourself every 5 seconds, you know? But when you want to be, like, when you want to be, I mean, you see the concept here. When you want to be inside, it's inside, and when you want to be outside, your vital stuff is outside.
It's
the
like
chair was supposed to reflect it. Yeah. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like those decks that like you can roll up the sides on, and you know whenever they're down, it's essentially being inside. Whenever you open them up, it's just a massive porch.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, interesting. I think that this is not the whole attachment point. I think that this thing I'm looking at may just be the back. Isn't that interesting? No, it looks fine. Oh, no, it's just the base. Well, if I grind it down, I can get parts from it.
Yep.
And then I can do this. Because I'm using the Space Master, because I'm like, this whole thing was built with it, so what the hell, right?
Yeah, it's still possessed.
Yeah, it's exactly like... oh, is it wobbling around?
Yeah, it's like seizing.
Oh, no. I'm wondering if it's one of those ideas that may be, like, for a future iteration of Space Engineers, then. Because I was thinking... so the problem with it was that I built it like that, like the deck you described, and then I was like, in order to get a nice chair that you could sit in and repair your oxygen and stuff, I had to use the attachment point made by Digi, which is basically a rotor that's been, souped up. And then, on top of that, I was like, why don't I put these screens on rotors so that they'll get out of your way when you don't need them? And that was when the gods were like, what? No, you don't get to do that. So what happens if you sit in this chair? Does it explode again?
Well...
Because if it explodes, there's no point in rebuilding it.
Oh, yep.
Oh, God. Yep, not ready for prime time. That is too bad. On the plus side, maybe a medical bay that extends out would work. It is possible that attachment points and rotors and stuff and multiplayer are just not ready to play nicely together.
Yeah.
But that's too bad. But at least it does sort of work. It's an airtight... it took some jiggery-pokery, but it does work.
Yeah, it's a nice concept, but yeah, it's that's where I backed up and everything went fine.
Did you cut out there?
Yeah, I'm okay. The server connection seems to drop every once in a while.
Yeah.
BC, I think we have a problem here. I am right now standing.
Where are you?
I'm right now standing in front of something that looks like it may have disconnected itself, unless this is supposed to be, like, on its own.
Oh yeah, I just left that there. I can't even remember what kind of, I gotta stop using jiggery-pokery, but I love it. I love that phrase for, like, just messing with stuff until it works. But, yeah, that's where I keep parts like I get from grinding down stuff that I created with the Space Master. Oh.
Okay.
Among other things, lots and lots of gravity components, which I haven't... Like, those are kind of expensive, so I'm like, I only want to use spawned-in ones if I absolutely have to. It's funny, I don't use them for gravity generators. I mostly use them for, what is it? Ballast. Because they're really small, but they're heavy. I had a rover earlier that weighed 2 million kilograms because I filled up... Yeah, all I did was fill up 2 small containers with a small grid size with gravity components, or gravity generator components, and it weighed 2 million kilograms. That stopped it from rolling over.
And was that a survival container?
Yeah, survival container. We're running on 10 times normal inventory, because pretty much everyone does these days, and you can't get anything done with regular inventory sizes.
Dang, with that much mass, I think I know what my next idea is for a super mass warhead.
Just throwing a container full of those things at something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've thought about just experimenting because, like, I built a rover at the pole, which unfortunately it didn't work out, so I got rid of it. But I finally did build that rover that had, like, those things that, like, the Curiosity rover, not the Curiosity rover, but the Pathfinder rover has, those weird bogies it has for feet or for wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And Wasted Space was showing off a rover that made like that. I was like, well, what if you made something like that with the large grid 5x5 wheels? And so I just made a giant screw you rover like that. It did not work very well. And one of the things I tried with it that worked very well was I loaded down cargo containers with those gravity blocks, so that because the wheels weren't sticking to the ground, the things weren't rotating and gripping, so the wheels would just spin. It sucked. And that when I deleted those things, I had to be super careful, because if they fell like a meter, they could crush everything under them. And so I'm like, I should be launching these out of my gravity cannons.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like something that should be weaponized. But
yeah.
But yeah, the evil clown containment unit I thought actually got thrown off of the porch, as it were. And that's the reason why I thought it was a problem. But yeah, and I found the LCD.
No.
Yeah, I found the LCD panel arm over here, by the way.
Oh, the thing that's supported by thrusters. It was so unwieldy that the rotor couldn't handle it, and so I stuck 2 thrusters on it, and I'm like, I'm going to be punished for this, aren't I? And it turns out I was right.
Yeah, the gods were not happy on this one.
Where is it?
For what?
Yeah. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
There it is. Yep. Well, but that was the basic concept there. I love that M Master's fabulous script. It's one of my favorite scripts ever, and it just is so useful. Gives you so much information. And a lot of the best scripts out there also will talk to LCDs, and I thought, well, let's just put a bunch of, small grid seems to be the answer, that small, large grid trick, whatever way you do it. But like I said, I kind of wanted it to be outside where I am almost all the time, but I also wanted it to be able to be inside. But it looks like that wasn't quite ready for prime time. Oh, rotors and pistons. Hey, well, it could be worse. The giant solar array up there could also be having rotor demons. It seems to be, unless you're seeing it wobble all over the place, it should be okay.
No, it looks absolutely pristine, to tell you the truth.
Then that is good. That is good. Yeah, there's that, and that is like I don't think Midspace is active in the community anymore, but back when they were, they created a sun tracking sensor, and it's just great. This thing tracks the sun all by itself without any scripts or anything, and it's basically like a little camera. The thing I really like about it, that I intend to take advantage of at some point, is that it tracks the sun even when the sun is behind the moon. So the rotor keeps turning to follow the sun even when it can't see it, or even when we can't see it. So I'm thinking you could use that to tell the time of day in game.
Oh yeah, have like a little clock tower or something set up.
Yeah, or even just like an indicator that says, because sunrise versus, daytime versus nighttime is important in these things, because this thing has reactors, but it mostly runs on solar power, thanks to that Freya script and stuff. And so it'd be nice, I would love to have, either in this base or the final iteration of this base, a thing that like I would love to be able to play a klaxon when at dawn and dusk.
Oh, gods.
Hello, it's dawn. What? Where are you?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. It's just the Iron Fox just like descended and it's now possessed.
Are you all right?
No, I'm okay. I'm standing over by the Stargate, but I just saw that thing just descend from the heavens.
Okay, that is weird. Let me just clean that up, because it's half exploded, and I haven't actually built it. I just called it into existence.
Ooh. Now it really exploded.
What happened?
I just saw it like shred.
And wow. Okay, so you're like maybe a second or two behind me.
Yeah, and I do know everyone.
I didn't actually see.
Yeah, every once in a while I'm
Go
getting
ahead.
disconnect messages.
Stupid. Oh, well, you know, they keep working on the netcode. At some point, I'm sure they'll get it. Let me see. Alt F10, and I can turn off space mode now. What I hate when I accidentally forget that I'm still in Space Master mode, and I go to build something, and suddenly an entirely completed component pops into existence, and I'm like, damn it! Let's just dump these ill-gotten parts into the ill-gotten parts container with the evil clowns.
Actually, this, I don't actually recognize this block.
What block is it?
It is. Actually, I might be able to find out just by hovering a welder over it. Hydrogen flashpoint reactor, I'm assuming it's cut off.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I set up here is that I was looking into the hydrogen mod. Oh god, I nearly I forgot that turning off your jetpack is not necessarily saves fuel, but can smash your face in. But yeah, this mod someone created separates ice into hydrogen, liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, and then it's got these evaporators and stuff. I'm on the fence about using it in survival mode because on the one hand, I kind of like the idea, but on the other hand, I feel like it might make, because it lets you dispense with uranium. I mean, I'm generating this cheat platform I created as an example is powered by ice. So I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the idea of running on ice instead of uranium?
Well, it kind of depends on how you're planning on going it. If you're like splitting ice into like oxygen and like deuterium and then using it as fusion, then I don't mind. But if it's a case of like, if it's splitting it into hydrogen and oxygen and then it's reacting those, then I would say it would just be an equivalent of a liquid battery and should really only be used as energy storage.
Yeah. I think all of the reactor things, they only take hydrogen. They take liquid hydrogen as their reactant, and I believe they are basically simplifying the fusion process.
Okay.
They're not actually going through the process of creating deuterium and stuff. They're kind of hand-waving that part.
Mm-hmm.
But they do split ice into hydrogen and oxygen and into liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Then you need an oxygen evaporator and a hydrogen evaporator if you want to be able to use those things in gaseous form, which I kind of like.
Okay.
But if you don't use them, yeah. So I like to imagine a craft that has a hydrogen reactor, but can't make its own hydrogen, so it gases up literally. Like it takes on liquid hydrogen, you know, when it connects up to a station. I really love that idea. Speaking of power sources, I love this one, and I really do want to use this one in survival mode. Well, I mean, we're in survival mode now, so obviously, but like for scenarios and stuff, you know, for streaming and videotaping and stuff. All videotaping. Oh, the past. Part of me wonders how long that idea will survive. The idea of putting something on tape, even though tapes don't exist. Let me see here. Little builder. I have to do lunar outpost SR.